Renovating Retirement with Charlie Jewett. Oh no, I think I'm about to have another episode.
Hello, and happy holidays to everybody, my listeners of the Renovating Retirement Podcast with Charlie Jewett. I've not been putting out a lot of episodes, and I'm so sorry for that. Literally since June or July, had some surprises in my life and have had very close to 0 minutes, honestly, to do these kinds of things, but getting back at it, and 2020 should be a year with a lot of shows and a lot of content. I do have a ton of stuff to share and want to keep giving it to you. So today we're going to talk about 6 hidden videos on how to build your retirement plan. Now, these videos aren't hidden anymore, but for quite a while there, they were hidden behind renovatemyplan.com, one of my websites, and there was a feature where you had to sign up. Really what it was a landing page for a call to action from the television show that I had in the Hawaiian Islands. Now you can see all those television episodes. They're only about 5 or 10 minutes long, kind of morning show style interviews with me where I pick a topic and we talk about it with the host. You can see those at charlieontv.com. So Charlie, CHARLIE, ONTV, the letters TV.com, charlieontv.com. You can go look at all those episodes. And if so what happens basically when they were interviewing me, what I was teaching people was you can go get these free videos, these 6 videos, each about 5 minutes long. And what I'm going to teach you is how to build your own retirement plan. Now, this is also the last chapter of my book, Renovating Retirement, which you can get for free right now, at least at the recording of this podcast episode. It's free on my website, jewettwealth.com. That's JEWETT, wealth, WEALTH.com. Both of my books are on there for free right now for the time being, so you can download The 2 Ways to be Debt-Free, which is my 28-page document on why I never pay off mortgages, and accelerating payments on mortgages, or using a 15-year fixed mortgage, or making large down payments, or making extra payments, why that's probably the worst financial decision anybody could make, even though it's traditional. But no one has been able to argue that in 15 years, and I've helped a ton of people better their finances by changing the way they address your mortgage, which honestly, the mortgage really is often the center of a financial plan. It's one of the biggest expenses people have, certainly one of the biggest assets, and it's a place where people store money that is not earning any interest at all. All of your home equity is sitting there doing absolutely nothing for you, at risk of depreciation, at risk of loss of home, not giving you tax benefits. It's just a problem. There's old traditional advice that does not fit any longer in our world. It probably made sense right after the Depression, but certainly does not fit today when you can borrow at 4 to 4.5 and make 6 to 7 in investments with a floor that's safe against market crashes. So you can go get my book, 2 Ways to be Debt-Free, but there's also a book, Renovating Retirement, which is probably, pretty irreverent. It was my style of writing. Wrote it really hot and heavy, sat down and just focused on it and wrote it at one of the more, perturbed times in my life, which, as you probably have noticed, it's a perturbed kind of a podcast. It's a podcast where I'm whistleblowing and standing up against bad guys. And it is incredibly frustrating what happens out there in the industry. And you have to understand, I spend every day of every week for the last 15 years talking to people that have been lied to and deceived by financial advisors, and therefore have made decisions that have hurt them and have at least, have not helped them. I talked to a guy one time in Hawaii who was actually in a good strategy, which is further than most people are. He was actually inside of an indexed universal life insurance policy. And I started doing some digging and looked inside the policy, and the advisor had him in what's called the fixed account, so that he could not make any more than basically 3% for the last 10 years. This was a couple of years ago, so he basically missed the entire run-up from after the 2008 crash all the way through 2018, and seriously probably cost $500,000. He probably lost $500,000 because of bad advice, even being inside of the right strategy, or a very, very good strategy for that type of money. And that's the kind of stuff that, when I say it's a kind of a perturbed podcast, it's close to 100% of the advice given out there is flawed or faulty or missing some pieces. Things like, articles like "I hate annuities and you should too." If you read the entire article, you'll find that Ken Fisher very deceptively talks about variable annuities, which do have incredibly high fees, do have risk, do have a very, very high commission, You can accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish inside of a variable annuity. You can probably accomplish it outside of annuities better, but very deceptively. He does not use the word variable. He just talks about annuities. So almost everything he says in that article is completely false, which makes it a lie, because Ken Fisher is not a stupid person. He's just deceptive and immoral. So that's what I'm talking about in the industry. People that use their influence. Dave Ramsey saying the market makes 12% and teaching that you should pay off your mortgage. Well, those two pieces of advice should never come out of the same human being's mouth. It makes absolutely no sense to pay off a 4 or 5% mortgage if you could actually make 12% in the market. And there's really no time in history where you can go back and look and say, yeah, for 30 years the market made 12%, so that's not appropriate. The way Susie Orman talks about life insurance without giving you the caveats that I do, like, are there crappy life insurance products? Yeah, there's crappy life insurance products, just like there's musicians that don't make very much money. Can I say that life insurance is terrible and expensive and a horrible investment? No, because I can't say that no musicians make good money just because most don't. Taylor Swift is doing fine. Billy Joel is probably making some money, I think. What a name for a human being, but The Weeknd, right? The Weeknd is making a lot of money. Isn't that weird that that's somebody's name? So it's just, why do we have this podcast? Why do I do these shows? Why do I sit here and talk to myself while my dogs look at me? Because there's so much good news, if you can just ignore everything you're hearing and focus on the truth, things that can be proven. I know it's uncomfortable, and I'm sorry. I know it's uncomfortable that all of your friends aren't doing this as well. I mean, I've been doing this 15 years, and it's like pulling teeth to get you guys to do this. I know you're not just mentioning quickly over hors d'oeuvres to your friend that they should go buy an annuity and get life insurance and get out of the market, and they're like, oh, cool, I'll do that. It's not that type of an industry. It's not that type of reality. Very few people even have the courage to go against what their parents did and go against what their neighbors are doing and go against the grain in any fashion. Very few people, and I don't think I'll ever understand this, have the courage to stand up to their broker and say, darn it all, this is my money, not yours. And you're a professional. You're a servant who works for me for money. I tell you what to do, big guy. Very few people, for some reason, have the personal fortitude to be able to see things in reality like that. And what I find instead is that they're cowering, afraid to hurt somebody's feelings or afraid to fire the person that's been ripping them off, and they just feel the need to defend them because they're nice, or they brought a fruitcake last year at Christmas, or for heaven's sakes, they attended a funeral. I don't think I'll ever understand the need to defend the person that's hurt you so deeply, even if it was a mistake. You always call a spade a spade. They're either good at their job or they're terrible at their job. They're either have a horrible heart or they have a good job, but bad results don't matter. It doesn't matter if they had a pure heart or they're evil. If they have bad results, they should not be the one person out of 7 billion handling the money in your life. It just the way things work. They're either the best choice out of 7 billion people on the planet or they're not. So I don't know that I'll ever understand the need to defend the existing advisor and why it would be so difficult to fire them. But I have to humble myself and say I've never been in that position. I've never been close to retirement with several $1 million or whatever, even 500,000, sitting there going, what do I do with it? And then have somebody give me contrarian advice and try to go against the grain. I'm the one giving the advice, not taking it. So I try to humble myself and understand, but blah, 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 blah. Forget all that. Here's what's up. I had a TV show for a long time. You can go see that, charlieontv.com. I don't do it anymore, but there's a bunch of episodes which you'll probably enjoy. And on every episode, at the end of it, they'll say, Charlie, what do people do if they want help? What's the next step? And I said, you know what you're going to do? Go to renovatemyplan.com. There's 6 videos there that'll walk you step by step through how to build your own financial blueprints. Because it is my opinion that advisors should not be telling you what to do as much. That's kind of me saying, hey, if you have 6 kids, you should live in a 2-bedroom home because I like to build 2-bedroom homes. No, you should be telling the architect how many bedrooms you want based on your goals. Same thing for finances. Advisors should not be saying you should be in stocks and bonds, or stocks or bonds, you should be in the market. They should be asking you, what are your goals? Like, by the way, in retirement, would you like an income? Why, yes, I would like an income. Thank you for asking. Okay. And would you like that income to be able to run out, where you have to eat dog food and live on the street? Or would you like an income that's guaranteed to last forever? Oh my goodness, thank you for asking. I'd prefer it last forever. Okay. Because I'm a good advisor and I love you, we cannot use the stock market or mutual funds and give you the income you want, so we're not going to. But do any advisors do that besides me and those that I've trained? Of course not, because they're addicted to the stock market because it pays them 4, 5, 6, 7 times as much money as annuities and life insurance, and they get paid whether they work or not, and it's just so much more fun for them, not me, so much more fun to be on the golf course living off the money they've stolen from you than it is to tell the truth. And I might agree. I honestly might agree, because telling the truth is incredibly difficult. I mean, talk about a thankless job of telling people the truth and giving them advice that is almost impossible for people to follow. And again, I don't know why. I'm not picking on you. I'm seriously not picking on you. I'm telling you, having presented easy solutions, financial plans that annihilate anything you could get from the stock market. Having presented solutions like that, 100% tax-free retirement without any risk of market losses, lower fees, no taxes, way more money for your family, long life, short life, rough life, sick life, better in every possible way, just doing it a little bit differently, not using the stock market, using annuities, life insurance, and land. After presenting that to thousands of families, I can tell you from that research project, which I didn't mean to do a research project, but I just happen to have a lot of experience now, I can tell you it is almost impossible for an American human being to do what's best for themselves. So if you're not that person, if you actually have courage, if you have some strength in your life, if you do realize it's a business relationship and don't have a problem firing an advisor who, whether it's on purpose from immorality or whether it's by mistake because of ignorance, if you don't have a problem saying to somebody, there's 7 billion people on the planet, I'm certainly not going to use you if all you do is stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, or I'm certainly not going to use you if you work for Edward Jones and Merrill Lynch or Morgan Stanley and have to sell their crap and can't even go outside of them to do what's best for me. I'm certainly not going to work for you if you work for one of the major insurance companies and can't broker me out to whoever has the best product for each piece. If you don't have a problem and you have that very rare and unique ability to actually care more about your financial plan than hurting one person's feeling who has absolutely nothing to do with, they're not going to feed your family. If you're that rare individual, which a lot of people are that listen to this show, let me encourage you. Now might be a good time to vote with your money and let that person go. You cut the ties as soon as you possibly can. Fire them and just move the money into a savings account. Even IRAs can be put into any credit union or bank in an IRA savings account where you're out of the market. Just fire them. Get rid of that person that doesn't know what they're doing or has hidden things from you or gives you bad advice or is just too ignorant to even know what we're talking about. A good tip, if you've ever heard them badmouth annuities or life insurance, or if when you look at your assets, it's a pie chart, and you know when you walked in the door, they immediately started talking about risk tolerance as if risk was needed for everyone. Like, why would you talk about risk tolerance unless we've already decided that risk is worth it and that you want risk in your life? Well, all they sell is risk, so they start with risk tolerance, blah, blah, blah. Let me get off that topic. So here's what's up. Again, there are 6 videos, and the last chapter of my book, Renovating Retirement, which I said you can get at my website, jewettwealth.com, also talks about this. And here's what it is. It is my personal opinion that you don't have any business talking with me or an advisor, another advisor, your current advisor or whatever. No one should be talking to you about where to put your money unless we've talked a bit about how much of your money should go in the different categories: in case accounts, income accounts, and increase accounts. Now, since I created my videos on YouTube at my other channel, watchcharlie.com, you can go to watchcharlie.com. You can see my in case account video. You can see my income account video. You can see my increase account number 1 video and increase account number 2 video. Since those days when I created those, the in case account world or the emergency fund world has changed a little bit. Some of my favorite products have disappeared. I mean, you probably have to have $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 before I would even use that strategy anymore. Where it used to be you only had to have $10,000. In today's world, many people can get away with just 2 accounts: income account, income producing annuities, and increase accounts, some sort of a tax-free insurance policy. Because it's so liquid, that also functions as your emergency fund or your in-case account. So you don't need a separate one, particularly since they took away the product I like so much. But the number one most important thing, what you really need to understand, is if you just look at your net worth. So what I'm going to teach you in the last chapter of that book, chapter 12 of Renovating Retirement, and also these 6 videos, which you can still find, by the way, at renovatemyplan.com. That just points to a YouTube station where they're available for you. You don't have to sign in or give your email or anything. renovatemyplan.com. When you get there, what you're going to see is 6 videos about 5 minutes long each, where I just walk you step by step through how do you assess your net worth, how much money do I have? Let's say you have $1 million. How much of it should go into each of these 3 accounts? And I'm going to tell you right now, the most important number by far is how much of my money, or how much of the money that you have, needs to go into income producing annuities. Why do I say that? Because you should not be risking any of your money until you have taken care of your paycheck. Literally, the one-word definition of retirement planning is income. It has always been about income. It will always be about income. When you solve for income, and I'm going to remind you another time, I'm going to beat this dead horse again. Beat it. Beat that horse. I will never stop beating this dead horse until I myself am dead. Next to the dead horse, dead podcaster Charlie Jewett, and then the dead podcaster won't beat the dead horse. But while the podcaster's alive, I'm going to beat that dead horse. Buying an annuity for income is not an investment. Are you investing your hard-earned money in creating the most amazing life you could possibly have with a paycheck that comes in like a money tree? You spend it, it shows up again next month. You spend it all, shows up again next month. This is the greatest. Are you investing in your future joy and happiness? Yes, you are. But the way your brain wants to define investments, well, how does it compare to the stock market? What is the rate of return? What's going on inside? How much is going to be there when I die? All of that. It's not an investment. Bad investments are the answer to a great life. That is why you own a car. And when I speak to crowds, I've done it with hundreds, if not thousands of people. I say, is a car a good investment? Meaning after you've purchased it, it goes up in value over time, and you buy it for $30,000, and 10 years later, it's been compounding at 7.2%, and you sell it for $60,000. Is that how it works, my audience, with cars? And they say what? They say, no, as soon as you drive it off the lot, you're down $5,000, $10,000, whatever car it is. I say, exactly. So a car is a terrible investment. And I say, how many of you in the audience own a car? Everybody raises their hand. How many of you own more than one of these terrible investments? And I see what hands remain raised or go back up. And then I say, bad investments are the answer to an incredible life. Clothing's a terrible investment. It doesn't appreciate. Couches don't appreciate. Food is the worst investment imaginable. You eat it once and it's gone. Food, clothing, cars. Really, if you want to be a good investor and listen to your stupid joker broker and his philosophies, why don't you just sit on the ground naked and don't eat or drink anything until you've starved, but at least you live the life of a wise investor. Do you hear how silly that is? A good life is made up of bad investments because they're purchases. Whoever said the meaning of life, the only thing we're here to do is compound our investments and make sure every dollar turns into 2? Nobody. Nobody says that about their life. And I mean this industry. My job is compounding money, growing money, make sure your money is there for you when your income goes away, because we need a chunk of money to create streams of income. Throughout your life, you save streams of money monthly to build up a big chunk or a nest egg that then we turn into streams of monthly income again, because what went away? Your income went away. That's the definition of retirement. I'm in that industry, and I am still telling you, life is not about compound interest. Sometimes you just need to make a purchase. You want a hamburger? Eat one. You want to get around without riding the bus? Buy a car. It's a terrible investment, but it's going to make your life incredible. Same thing. With retirement planning, there's a purchase to be made that has nothing to do with compound interest, the market, upside potential, or any of that other baloney that the horrible joker brokers use to deceive you and lie to you. There's a purchase to be made, and that's buying a pension. Either Social Security, which hopefully you'll get, or pensions through work, which for some people is enough to live off of. That's fine. For most people, it's not. From your nest egg, you buy a pension, which is an income annuity. Today's best annuities have increasing income features, which are incredible. You'll get way more money back from this investment than any other, quote, good investment with high rate of return or whatever baloney. You make a purchase, has nothing to do with how much it's going to compound or what your account value is going to be. As a matter of fact, if it ever runs out of money, you still get your income. And guess what? If it ever runs out of money and the market goes up, you still get raises to the income that's based on an account that doesn't have any money in it any longer. Well, Charlie, how could that be? Because you made a purchase of lifetime income. But is it a good investment? I don't care. And neither should you. So if you're stupid, you say, I hate annuities, and you should too, and you lie about what annuities are. If you're honest and good, you say, I don't care about good investments, and neither should you, because what you should care about is having an income, and an income that keeps up with inflation, and having an agreement in place that even if you run out of money, you will still always have a smoking hot, amazing lifestyle because you made a purchase one day, a very intelligent purchase. I mean, can't we all go back and say, man, I wish I had bought Apple in the beginning, or I wish I bought a small piece of property in this place that exploded. I'd be rich. Of course. Everybody, looking back at retirement, would be happy if they said, I wish at the very beginning I would have bought a guaranteed income that increases over time. Especially the person that's run out of money and their stupid joker broker had them in some strategy where when you run out of money, you also run out of income. Like, could you get any worse at financial planning than to tell somebody, let's put your money in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and have you live off of it. And if the market behaves, you're going to be okay. But if it doesn't behave, you and only you run out of money while I made my fees on it the whole time. I made fees while you went broke. And then once you're out of money, you call me up and say, what do I do now? And go, well, nothing. You spent all your money. You're out of money, buddy. But wait, you told me that the market was the place to put it. I know, but there's no guarantees, and it didn't work out. Good luck, bud. I'm going to go work with the other 350 clients I have who allow me to play golf and rip them off while they lose their money. Could you get any worse at financial planning than to be the advisor that tells someone to be in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and to take an income from a non-guaranteed source that if it runs out, they don't have any more income? Like, could you get any more childish, stupid, or evil than to think that recommendation made sense for a single human being on the planet? Now let me turn it around. Since the book I'm telling you about, Renovating Retirement, the first half calls advisors to repent, and the second half tells consumers to repent. And I'm not being a booger. Why should consumers repent? Because bad guys don't give a crap about right and wrong. They're not going to change their behavior until it hits their pocketbook. It's our job to spank these losers and make them change because it no longer is profitable, because we make it so it's no longer profitable for them to rip people off. Vote with your money, fire the stupid people, do what's best for you, enter into a system or a relationship like I provide that's not about trust. I'm not like, hey, I'm smart, you're stupid, shut up, I'll tell you what to do, which is basically the entire financial planning model at Edward Morgan Lynch. No. The right way to do financial planning is you and only you know what you want. My job is to show you the tools that exist without hiding them from you and give you accurate information about how they actually work and ask you questions like, would you like to run out of income or not? No, I wouldn't. Okay, then 100% we're not going to use stocks, bonds, and mutual funds like all the liars tell you to do. I'm telling you, when I say about the advisor, how stupid is it to suggest? Let me turn it around and forgive me for how you're going to feel insulted. I'm hoping that you like someone who talks straight to you with a little bit of compassion, but talks straight. How stupid would it be to base your entire retirement lifestyle, the income you have to provide for you, to cover for inflation, to cover all your medical expenses, and then to leave the inheritance that you want to loved ones or charities? How stupid and childish and basic would it be? Like novice is what I mean by basic. To say, I'm going to put all my money in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. I'm not going to worry about purchasing an income. I'm just going to hope that while the baby boomers retire and the huge group of people that drove the stock market up during their working years, now that they're stopping working and not buying the market but selling it, I'm just hoping it has the same behavior and goes against all economic wisdom. I'm just hoping things work out. And if they don't, I'm okay living on the streets and eating dog food. I don't need to listen to Charlie Jewett or make any purchases. I just hope for the best. How foolish would that be? And yet, and here's where it's time to start thinking about New Year's resolutions and start thinking about being someone who takes massive action and gets in touch. Get in touch with me. info@l5wealth.com. info at L, the letter 5, the number, wealth.com. Charlie@jewettwealth.com still works. They both go to the same place. If that's easier for you to remember, Charlie@jewettwealth.com. That's fine. Don't be that person that lets the novice level advisor put you in a novice level plan and then you embrace it as a novice level retiree. Don't do that. Get a little bit more advanced and say, you know what? If retirement's really about income, I should probably have an income that's not based on what happens in this squirrely market that nobody controls. I should probably just buy the income and say, well, that's taken care of, and then do whatever else I want with the rest of the money. So the reason I brought all that up is to say, of these 6 videos you watch, the most important piece is going to be the income video, the one that says, figure out what your nest egg is. Say, okay, you've got $1 million of investable assets or whatever it is. How much of that should go to buying a paycheck? And everybody has a number, and you solve for it. It's mathematical. It's Social Security plus pensions plus rent subtracted from lifestyle need. $2,000 a month from Social Security, $1,000 from rent, $1,000 from pensions. That's $4,000. What does it cost you in today's dollars to live? $7,000 a month. 7 minus 4, $3,000. The delta, the missing piece, is $3,000 a month. You must purchase that. $36,000 a year. You must purchase it. It's not an investment. You buy it. That's what these videos are going to teach you. How much money needs to go into annuities, and therefore how much is left for all the other stuff that you're so much more excited about, which is fine. You can buy the stock market. You can buy real estate. You can buy all kinds of things. I've been putting people in land, a type of land that's had double-digit returns in every time frame we can measure. It's exciting. It's beautiful. But should you do it for your income? No. It's a growth tool. Buy your income, invest the rest. Buy your income, invest the rest. People, go watch the videos and let me know what you think. RenovateMyPlan.com, 6 hidden videos on how to build a retirement plan or a set of financial blueprints that you and your advisor can use to build the best plan for you. If you'd like help from me, just want to be my friend, want my cell number, want to talk late at night when you can't sleep, or you just want a pat on the back, whatever you want, get in touch. info@l5wealth.com, info at L, the letter 5, the number, wealth, the word.com. Charlie Jewett out. You people are the best.
Renovating Retirement with Charlie Jewett.
That's all, folks.